all of existence. But when you got that kind of power, and you don't have any power over anything outside. Pop said in the video, who was talking at Invest Fest, he said, what happens is that, because you don't have any power at all, you start abusing your woman, because that's the only thing you have control over. Mm-hmm. You understand me? And so the black man is faced with this crisis of knowing, or this feeling, man, I'm powerful, but I have no power over things. So then he looks for something to have power over. Mm-hmm. This black woman is right there in his vicinity. So now he doesn't, and if you don't have a righteous mind, you're going to what? Abuse that power. I grew up seeing men abuse power. Was it the white man that told them to abuse power? That perhaps it was the systems and slavery and all of the things that we can qualify, but now we're at this point to say, well, listen, I've been in meetings where brothers talked about the white man, but then they were the ones abusing the power on the inside because of ego and narcissism and flaws and all sort of detriments within the character. So seeing that, I didn't condemn them or judge them, I empathize. You understand me? Because that brother must not have seen what true power was. And true power is discipline. All right, but how you get disciplined is you have to make yourself a disciple of something that you want to be like, right? So you try to get in line with that what you want to become, and that helps you maintain your discipline. You understand me? But we don't have discipline and we lack integrity. We don't have integrity because we allow ourselves to be assimilated into every culture in the world. Your integrity, right? We all have a certain germ integrity. You understand me? And then when we introduce to something else, it starts to mess with our physiology, right? We allow everybody to come in contact with us and it starts to throw off our integrity, our field, our aura. No, you have to be in environments that stimulate the integrity of who you are. So you have to be around people who think like you, who dream like you, who vision like you, who move like you, because you all reinforce the integrity of the things you're made of. You understand me? So when they started making handshakes, they start changing the integrity of the people on a biological level just by touching them. I'm not, strangers from another land start touching hands. Handshake. You messing with the integrity. A man really ain't supposed to give your woman a handshake. That's right. Don't need to give your woman a hug. Why? Right. Because you sharing integrity. Right. Now you sharing energy. You understand me? That integrity that you built at the household is now being lost because she going to the workplace. She dealing with friends and things of that nature. Right. And now the integrity and that energy is being mixed. And then you bring that back into the household. Wait a minute. That's not what we was building in here. Something is off a little bit. You talking to a friend that's giving you ideas that have nothing to do with the foundation of what we built. Right. The integrity is now off. It's the substance of what things are made of. When you look at any building, once the beams collapse because the integrity is broken, it doesn't have anything to stand on. But we've lost the art of companionship. We lost the art of family and relationship. So we think everything is connected to insecurity. That's what they tell you. You understand me? No, this is a science that you don't want to deal with no more, right? Because it comes with responsibility. Think about, when you want to become anything, study that what you want to become. I'm gonna give you a key. If man wants to become a faithful man, you have to study faithfulness, integrity, and discipline. These are the things that I have to study for myself. Being a high value man. You got to study it because what your brain starts to do when you studying the things that you want to become better at, you automatically start to believe that's what you are. You start to subconsciously put it in there because now that's the information you act off of in order to become that what you want to be. But we have things that we desire to become, but we don't study it. So now we're not adding that into our integrity, so we don't have anything to pull from. My father told me one time I'm working at a job and I'm trying to figure out how to get along with these people because I used to say I was the greatest salesman in the world. You understand me? I'm telling you, man, I can sell dry to air. It was different. So what was happening is I was selling so good that the people around me was getting jealous. They was mad. I'm like, well, I didn't come here to make friends. I came here to make ends. I called Pops one day. I said, Pops, man, what I'm supposed to do, man? I'm too good. You understand me? I'm trying to figure out how to get along with these people. He said, brother, be up for a while. Now, during the time, I said, damn, man, that's it. I thought he was being short with me. But when I'll never call for advice. But then I thought about it. I said, wait a minute. What's my foundation? I got training. The training went back to the proper handling of people, right? So if as an FOI and as a Muslim I'm taught to be righteous, then I had to empathize with them. How can I do good for them to do good for me? If I treat them better, then they treat me better. So I said, let me teach them what I know. You understand me? They can never be me, but now at least they can be better versions of themselves and they can appreciate me for teaching them. See, it changed the condition of the environment just by being a better person to the people that was around me. And if I didn't have a foundation, right, and I wasn't strong enough, I wouldn't have had the integrity, you understand me, to move accordingly to how I'm supposed to move in that environment. Because I was operating from a place of ego, not trying to operate in the eco, which is the ecosystem of how all these things get along, how black men and women, how the human family on this planet Earth get along. So we have to get back to a place of, number one, asking ourselves, what am I made of? What is my integrity? When I go out in the world, what is the substances that I come in contact with that is not part of my integrity, that I then have to detox from so I can consistently get back, right, to my organic self? That is the key, that if you master that, you will live life untouched, unscathed, unmoved. You understand me? And whether you're going into an industry, whether you're going into a job, whether you're going into a relationship, nothing will transform your integrity because you will not allow things that are not supposed to mix in with you. That's the idea of being in the world, but not of the world. You did? The issue is you don't believe in yourself. You don't believe you can learn, make some money, understand a new skill set, jump into a course, a community, and all of a sudden your problems start to go away. No, you think because of your education and your environment, certain things weren't made for you. Or you think you too gangster to learn this. You understand me? Or you think you're too old to learn it. Or you think maybe you don't know enough about technology, you're not interested in it whatsoever. Or maybe you think just certain things are just not for you yet. You got all of these goals, aspirations, things that you think that you're privileged to in the world. But that's not the way the world works. The world works for those who work for the world and those who work for themselves. See, once you start to develop the power of the mind, then you understand that it's about mentalism. How to be able to take those thoughts that are inside your head and bring them outward. Well, first, you have to be able to bridge the gap between where you want to be. The distance is determined by what you know and what you don't know. And the speed in which you get there is determined by your own willpower and your ability to execute in your work ethic. See, I don't want to do anything for you. I want to give you the tools to be able to do for self. But I also understand that the world handicapped us. They gave us a school system. They gave us learning disabilities. It took us away from our creative learning, how to be able to learn on the go and to become critical thinkers. At a certain point in time, everybody just stopped thinking. You just stopped thinking. The other day, I was listening to some advice on social media, and I heard one opinion. That kind of stuff, right? Then, scrolling down, I saw somebody else talk about the same subject, give an opposing opinion, and I actually had to stop myself and think about it. Wait a minute. Both of these people are not right. The problem was I didn't want to critical think for myself, so I took the first influence that I got. Because I didn't feel like thinking about it on the subject. So when you hear about subjects of financial literacy, you hear about blockchain technologies and cryptocurrencies and wealth building systems, sometimes when a person tells you something negative, it becomes your excuse and your reason why not to execute. But see, I got a large family, and I don't let nobody make excuses around me. I employ my family. I employ designers and developers, and I pay them tens of thousands of dollars. Why? Because they can do things that I can't do. Now, without skill sets, that's not much value that you have, because now your value is determined by the market. But when you have skill sets that nobody can take away, you always have value no matter where you are in the world and what time it is of the day. See, develop a skill nobody can take away, and you have a value that nobody can strip away. When we talk about wealth, I don't want it to be some pie in the sky idea. I don't want it to be some 10-year future. I want it to be now, because the future is now. Because they've built everything that we need, so you just have to learn how to use it, and we're going to teach you how to use it in the BWO. We're going to teach you how to use it in this block world order. You understand me? So now you can get off your ass and use your mind and get you some money. Use your mind to change the infrastructure of your life. But guess what? Nothing works if you don't work. So yes, we built the foundation, but it's up to you to stand on it yourself. Come and join the block world order. See what we have to offer. Now you can take those goals you have in your head and make them obtainable by the skills you possess in your mind. Tap in. But Bashir, I know you had a thought.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Always. One thing that I love the most in conversations like this is all of the analogies that pop up in your head, all of the truths that pop up in your head, the things that you have been studying and evolving with your entire life. And that's one of the beautiful things that we can get out of ciphers like this, listening to other brothers speak, being able to listen. It's one of the key things in terms of understanding empathy. And having empathy is being a great listener, because that's what makes a great king is a great listener. And an ancient proverb that I've learned is that a great king is one who can destroy.
To give him mercy.
He gives him mercy. The greatest version, or let's say one of the most repeated lines in the Quran, is that Allah is the most merciful of all beings. First, before he is the most destructive of all beings. That Allah gives you mercy. God, the creator, the oneness, the universe, gives you mercy before destruction. And it never states in the Quran that God obliterates you. It says that, no, I will bring you to the state in which you brought upon yourself. You understand? And that in of itself is a representation of what it means to be an empathetic being on a divine level. That the only thing that I give you is what you give me. And this is why in our empathy is also, as a man, and being a man, is being able to what? Go to war for your honor, for your respect, to keep the love in the environment, to keep balance in the environment, to keep truth in the environment. You understand? Because if you are not, you can't say that you follow even your sensei when it comes to, and how you said, we have to follow a doctrine. The sensei, which means master, you will, or anybody that wants to be the disciple has to go to the temple of that sensei and do as the sensei says to be in that class. The creator, God himself, which we all as men should strive to be, has his own class. And this is why we have so many different ideologies, religions, things of that nature to this day, because we have different masters who are all teaching the same principle of oneness. But there's different iterations and versions of that we all can follow, can get us to one thought that Pops stated earlier, that God first came into existence as thought form, as electricity, as vibration. So that master and that being who is on that state of as sensei, that being requires the most out of his students or her students. You see? And the reason why is because they have the highest level of empathy. Because they know what it takes to make a being go from a student to a master. Because they have started mastering themselves. They are a master. People view them as such. So they in order for you to get to this realm of existence that I am at and go further beyond me, because this is the point, going further and beyond. And this is why you stated something earlier. You said that we are infinite beings, but we are limited. I would say that we are infinite beings, but we are limited by our imagination. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm.
We're limited by our imagination of what we are capable of being. We are infinite in thought always, but this is why we come to a master or to a sensei to teach us how to be infinite in our imagination, to be infinite in the way that we are able to pick up our discipline and to know that we will always be students. This is why the master or the sensei be like, I'm always master, I'm always a student. I'm always also following behind my master. Also always making sure that I'm giving credence to my ancestors. Also always making sure that I'm keeping the environment, and as the student learn, I'm learning from the student. Because as men, we recognize that that is how we grow. We all come to the circle. And as we all see ourselves, I'm pretty sure in this circle, we all see ourselves in mastering something in this lifetime. And this is why we have the empathy to sit down with one another, to speak to one another as gods, as kings, as brothers. You understand? Because we, deep in within us, we chose what? We chose a path to follow behind. And that path led each and every single last one of us to this conversation right here and now, because that is the empathy of God, the empathy of God, which is so divine and so beyond our thinking and our understanding that even when we are not even awake, even when we are asleep, God is still working and moving through us, still creating our manifestation in our environment through, and that is on the deepest level, empathy. Because even when we are asleep, when we can be killed and murdered, we can be killed when we are asleep. Allah says, I'm gonna protect you. You understand what I'm saying? And this is why we are still here now, because that is the highest form. We understand the unseen universe, and that is the unseen. That unseen world is still a very logical world. It's a very logical process, and this is why we say to be good, to do good. Because what you put out in the universe is what you get back. The music that you put out into the universe is going to come back. That you putting out a lot of unseen energy. You not seeing the conversations behind other doors that people are having about you because of what you said on the internet. Niggas want to kill you because you said something, and they having conversations behind your back. Closed doors. They like, oh, when I see him, I'm gonna take his life. Because you put out some death energy, some frequency in the unseen world.
Mm.
That's the unseen. And so when Allah says, I'm bringing you mercy, he says, I'm bringing you mercy through what? Judgment. I'm bringing you mercy through how you represent yourself in this universe. By what you do, by the thoughts you put out there, by what you display, how you treat my woman. That all in of itself is the mercy of Allah because he's telling you, he's showing you real time. He shows you on the internet. He shows you even when our world is being destroyed right before us. He shows you exactly what he means when he says what he says. That everything is a replication of how you think. And as men, the better that we think, better that we treat each other, the better that we treat our women. The imagination is also, and you can tell when somebody has a lack of empathy, is by how they eat. What do you feed yourself, black man? If you had empathy like you say you do, then you will eat correctly. You will eat the right foods. You will eat foods that bring you life. Because if you had empathy, then you would want to live longer to do what? To take care of your family. So men today lack empathy and don't even understand it because they eat foods that are killing them on the mind and the cellular level. And so when it comes to them and how they see their woman, how you go see a woman correctly? One, she can't even cook the food that you need. One, you're not eating the right foods. If we say that everything starts internally, then what food are you feeding us? That is empathy. How you treat yourself is empathy.
That's a fact.
Alhamdulillah.
You know, I love a woman not because of her beautiful face. I get treated well by my women. I'm a student of life. I nourish the thoughts of my people. Lord, behold, I've come to you before as a humble man. How could I betray that? How could I tell you that I am other than myself if Allah made me the original man who is the prototype? I've been blessed with the seed to regenerate and to replenish the soils of earth, upon in which I lay my feet on. Given this castle, given this kingdom, given this planet, given the universe, my woman is the one that is entrusted to me biologically, spiritually, mentally, and physically. I seek to it that the mission, our purpose drives us into a different atmosphere. There is no pressure upon a guy's shoulders. The world can't bring you down. Gravity pulls me up. The air allows me to float into an existence in which I call home. The black man isn't a nigga. I'm no nigga. Never was. Born of the blood, born of the lineage, born of legacy and promise. I bear witness that there is no God Allah, but Allah. But what does that mean to you, soldier? What does she mean to you? You call her a woman, but what does she mean to you as an individual of originality? Pure calamity causes me to bestow upon and reignite the flame of my origins. But what is your story? What do you tell yourself at night before you go to sleep and awaken upon consciousness? The woman is a privilege. She should be treated as so. In order to be a ruler on earth, you have to submit to yourself within. What's a king to a god? What's a god to a non-believer? It was so poetic right there. That's poetic right there, boy.
Real quick, Keys, though, man. Like, I just can't. You really hit home on the integrity part, right? And you hit home on the part that I think is even more critical as well. You know, with destroying and destruction, right? And God's actions through destruction, because in order to build, you have to destroy, right? And so, as men, we're in a constant state of building and destroying parts of ourselves that lack integrity, parts of ourselves we don't appreciate or are not useful or conducive to us growing, and constantly building from like the framework, like you mentioned, people that we aspire to be, ideals that we aspire to. We have to constantly build towards situations like this right here, build it towards. Everybody here has a unique perspective, right? A unique experience. And to your point, everybody's experiences has brought them to this point, and they're bringing it to this cipher here, right? And we all can learn little pieces of that. But in order to have integrity, you have to have a knowledge of self, right? You have to have a knowledge of who you are in order to move through the world in a capacity that represents you, your ancestors, your lineage. And that knowledge of self is, I think, the most critical thing that a lot of our community is missing today, right? A lot of us don't know. They don't know who they are. They don't know what they believe, because they come up, even if you came up in a decent household, if that decent household did not instill in you certain values and beliefs that are not just developed from the mother and father, but of your your lineage, your culture, your background, something that's bigger than just what happens inside of the two folks that brought you into this world, right? You have a hard time moving through the world and maneuvering. So as men, as men and women even, but particularly as men, if you do not have that foundation of a knowledge of who you are, what you believe, and what are your core principles, your integrity that make up your integrity, that is probably the most critical thing that I think any man or every man should really be spending their time. It's not any time to go to clubs, to, you know, partake in activities if you don't have that knowledge of self, right? If you don't know who you are, how you're meant to move in a capacity in this world to reach your highest potential. Once you got that figured out, we actually talked about that the other day.
One line to add to what you
Yeah.
just said. And the most important thing about what he just said is once a man learns how to control his pleasures, he also masters how to control his pain. You gotta take that compass and draw a circle around your desires. And that line, that circle, is what's gonna keep you in bounds. Once you step out of bounds, it ain't over. You gotta get some more data. Get some more data to bring you back within the circle, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta learn how to, cultivate the way that you're moving out here as a young black guy.
I wanted to bring this cipher together for this reason, man, because you get to build, all right? I imagine people that watch this of varying degrees of philosophy, beliefs, backgrounds. A lot of things, some things may trigger you. Some things may make you feel a certain way. Some things may make you say, well, I agree, I disagree. Some people are so triggered, they don't like men to even speak. You understand me? And that's their problem. Like, we ain't even supposed to have a voice and an opinion. And the thing about what we do here is we don't give a damn about that. I don't care how you feel about the amount of space I'm supposed to take, the things I'm supposed to say it a certain way so it qualifies, so that the algorithm of the world that's being built out, that does not include the constitution of still me showing up as a ruler and a man with power. Ever since this country was created, it never respected, you understand me, my body, it never respected my mind, never respected my power. You understand me? And until today, on Instagram, a man speaks and gives his opinion, his perspective, his philosophy. See, I'm gonna tell you what the most dangerous thing is what we lost in society is philosophy. See, philosophy is the art of thinking. Philosophy is evidence without scientific measurement, because man discovered everything just by thinking before there were tools to give factual data and evidence to say that that's real. We knew atoms existed. We knew of galaxies and stars beyond. We knew that our body had cellular structures. How did we know this? We think, because we already tapped into all. So just by using our mind, now, the esoterics is things that are not, they're not proven by religion or science, but more so the interpretation of religion and science. Because science is always disproving itself every day. And religion is interpreted by whoever tells the story or whoever has the capability of consciousness to go down in there and break it and say this is what it means. So You got to get to a point now where every man should have a philosophy in life. You understand me? You don't have a philosophy towards life. So, but they get us away from having philosophies because then you start to have ideas that rule the world. You start to discover things that they didn't teach you about. Now they can't control what you believe. So there was a time and day when men talk about their philosophies and their ideas towards life and they'd be killed for it. There was a time when women studied medicine and alchemy and they were killed for it, blamed as witches, because people did not understand. So that which people can't see, they call you crazy for, but that's just what you know that they see not. So you have to develop a philosophy, you have to develop principles, you have to develop framework, right? And you can't worry about the world believing or knowing you because we know we live in a matrix and we got to break free from that every single day because it's throwing us back in there. Oh, you think you breaking free? Let me remind you, you in this. The algorithm is set so it controls your way of thinking and speaking. Well, damn, if I say this, then I get banned. So now I have to say it like this. So now it's forcing you to move and navigate and mold your thoughts. So now you would never speak as true of words that you would ever speak because of an algorithm, of an AI. And who built that algorithm? Who built it? AI has built-in biases based on whoever is the coder and the engineer of it. You understand me? So we are living in a world that is manufactured. I'm gonna leave us with this. You have the A, you have the I. A numerical value 1, I numerical value 9. The 19 represents male, that represents female. This represents consciousness, right? This represents feeling. This is consciousness as well, or I would say, let's say logic. Consciousness, she represents the subconscious, the womb, right? Anyway. But what does that represent? What do these two do when they come together? See, there's a thing that is divine mathematics. When they say you add 1 plus 1, it equals 2. You understand me? But when you got the 1 and the female is the 9, right? What they do? They come, they create the 10, it brings it back down to the 1. That represents God. The family represents God because truly what they do is when 1 plus 1 comes together, you understand me? It don't create 2. When it comes to the family, 1 plus 1 is going to equal 3, right? Because it's no longer individuals, it's about the collective. You did? If we said what 2 individuals come together, that's 2 people. No, when you're talking about family, these 2 individuals plus this 1 individual make 3. That's the family. That's the trifecta. That's the Holy Trinity. That's the beginning. So that 1 plus that 9, that represents God. That represents birth of thought. That represents beginning and ending. That represents all truth. As I showed you all those ones, that's all the data in the universe. Now, if you're not an original man, you're not tapped into that 1 and that 9. So what do you have to do? You have to create artificial systems, right? So now, if you don't have the numbers, you can't keep up with the birth, you go create AI. What's the most dangerous AIs? I talked about these before, artificial intelligence, right?
They use that 3 to
What's the other AI? Artificial ingredients. Uh-oh, we're getting dangerous now. What's the other AI? Artificial insemination. Ooh, ooh, ooh. They manufacture in the womb, huh? What are they trying to do? They're trying to play God. They're trying to play God. See, this is, you are the original 1 and the 9. You ain't got no problem with your swimmers. You ain't got no problem giving life. You are the original man. This is the original balance. But see, in their world, let me tell you why their world is in balance. I guess the keys and you went crazy on him. You doing too much. You know what I'm saying? Their world is imbalanced because when you go to Greek, you go to Roman history, this is the man, right? What he values next in his hierarchy is the boy. The boy is the one as well. Then the last is his woman, right? The African system, man, woman. You understand me? Now, he only believes that she has value if she creates him one of these. You understand me? So she is only, her value is only viewed on her ability to create a male. That is the white patriarchal paradigm of thinking. That's the one that the woman wants to destroy. Now, he, right, is producing less babies now, right? So now he's in what I call the 911. You understand me? He in this emergency. You understand me? What happened on 9/11? Come on now, what happened on 9/11? The biggest paradigm shift. 9/11, emergency. 19 years later, what happened? Oh, C-19. Come on now. Hey, I'm trying to give y'all the codes. You have to understand that there's a mathematical fabric, and when you are able to tap in and understand the number systems, the numbers speak because numbers are the original words. You understand me? Everything is mathematical. You can describe the universe by the number. You understand me? So what did he do? You understand me? He's in this emergency paradigm. He put the woman up front. He got everybody thinking emotional right now. You understand me? When you fractal, you're emotional. You're not thinking logical. The world is not thinking logical. If you think about what's going on in the world, it is not a logical 19 system. You understand me? We are not filtering, right? We got logical thoughts, then we got emotions. No, right now we have emotions, then logical thought. It's not, that's what's running the world. So we are in an emergency paradigm that's going on. And this is why the world is ending. Because if we get back to where the boys are thinking logical again, you understand me? And they now I believe they got these what I call the 9 minds. They thinking feminine, right? They illogical. These are 9-1 minds. They afraid of that logic right there. You understand me? They don't want to think like what? A man. They don't want to learn how to control and rule their mind. They want to learn how to control and just tap into their feelings. They don't want to think like a man.
You said amen.
Amen.
What we said in the prayer.
Amen. Like amen.
Amen.
You understand me?
Amen.
So once you understand what you're seeing and what's going on, how many, I ain't gonna get too deep with it. After I got deep with it. Because there's a lot more to go into when you study that. The Honorable, Masterful Art of Muhammad, he said there's 17 million original people plus the 2 million Native Americans. He said that represents the 19 million rusty locks. Oh man, what's that rusty lock? It's all of that lost found potential that we see out every day. Man not being able to tap into what? His mind. Not being able to control his mind. Not being able to take thoughts, right? And then give birth. What we talking about? We got what? When you look in the universe, you got the sun. Then around it, you have the 9, right? The 9 planets. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's the feminine. You understand me? So you have to understand that all things act in cosmic order. You dig? And you have to understand that people talk about astrology and astronomy. They're saying that there's different cycles where there's feminine that pulls. You understand me? But you have to be like the sun. You're not getting pulled by the planets. You're pulling them into your orbit. You dig? This is your 1. This is your 9. They follow you. You don't follow them. You don't follow your emotions. No, that's your power right there. But what we're dealing with is this particular society don't know how to give birth to nothing. So they rusty lock minds. So how do you unlock those minds? You need what? Key. Ooh, what's that key? Key or energy. Right? It's the same thing. Key or chi, right? or key to unlock. You understand me? Once you unlock that mind, you can never be set to a place where you can be oppressed again because now you know. You understand me? Now I got control. I got knowledge yourself. So then you start to become so powerful because now you have the ability to say be and it is, meaning I say be and it is. I give birth. You understand me? Now I don't procrastinate. Now I live in the now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not maybe, not a little bit later. I only know now, right? So what we have to do, you understand me, is get back to the divine order. See, when we good with our woman, that's the divine order right there. You understand me? We good right here. Ain't nothing out of order, nothing out of orbit. So we can't let them try to rule us. You understand me? All we have to do is get back to the mind of God. When you go into the Bible, into the Quran, into all of them, they gonna talk about that 19. The Quran says it's 19 over it. You understand me? I ain't gonna get too deep on that. So, but I just wanted you to all, when you look at 444 or 333 or 222 or 111, it's called divine synchronicity. Each person is going to take something different from it based on higher level consciousness or lower level consciousness. But I ask you a question. You know, you got your little sperm, you hit that egg, moment of conception. You understand me? First, this is thought. But thought does not act into motion, right? Now the motion is being attracted to the womb. And what happened after them 9 months? You understand me? That thought spirals. And in that 9 months, what happened? It gives birth. So we have been taken away because the thing called fecundity, you know, it's talking about how many little sperms you got in there working going to that egg.
What's fecundity?
Fecundity is how many sperms you got going to that egg, the ones that's working, trying to give life. But it's not just here. You have fecundity in your mind, how many ideas that you have. You understand me? So remember, they had you enslaved, stealing your ideas. And you was over there making as many babies, having all the ideas. So they said that no, a slave can't patent an idea. You understand me? They were so cold that they said, wait a minute. There was one slave master. It was a brother who created a cotton picker. You understand me? Where it made it a little easy. Yeah, not the cotton gin, but it was a variation of it. So his master tried to go patent it, but they said, no, you can't patent nothing made by a Negro because they ain't consider him to be a human being. But he starts selling it anyway. And the devil was so cold that he said, see, and he was happy he said it was made by a Negro. Because what he said was, see, that this is proof that y'all said that slavery devotes their mind. Say, no, this is made by a Negro right here. Slavery ain't doing nothing to their mind. They still innovative. The devil used technology so cold that he stole something from us and then he used it as proof to the fact that slavery was still humane. You understand me? So you have to understand the machinations of who you're dealing with. And ever since then, what we dealing with in the industry now, his ability to control the bodies. You understand me? As long as he has power over this 19, he can control the world. So the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said the Million Man March, you understand me, in 1995, he opened it up with the secrets of number 19, saying that when that one is next to that 9, there's something to be uncovered. Because he said when you look at these statues, they're 19 feet high, representing the 16th and the 3rd president. He said, what'd that come down to? 19. He was trying to give you the secret. When he had 2 million black men, he had the whole world in front of him. He was trying to give you the secret that it's your body. It's your mind that powers everything. There's no computers, there's no computer chips, no street lights, no nothing. He built this world using you. Now you have to learn how to use yourself.
Everybody, I think this is important. Popped up in my head. We all talking about something very, very, very high level. And so when you thinking about about the viewership, the people that's watching, young men and women that's watching this broadcast. Now, they're gonna be asking this question in their head: how does this make me any money? You see what I'm saying? You see, everything that you just spoke on, everything that we talked about today, little is how when we talking about money itself, it's how it comes about, just in general. So, but because they took everything like how you just broke it down, they made the world appear as though it was such this physical plane that everything was right here, and that I'm gonna put things in front of your eyes to give you all this glamour in this world, to get you to put your spirit into it, give your soul to it, that you would never see that the wealth is within, right? So how do we, as these men that stand on what we stand on, how do we communicate to the brothers and sisters, just let them know that being on this direction that we're talking about is how you get to the work?
That's easy, B. That's the easy part. That's what I'm telling you. When your mind works, you don't lie. I'm talking about when it's in proper order of function, you don't lie. You understand me? See, we don't make money because we be lying. Okay. You understand? Man that tells the truth, you gonna make some money. So, all right, boom. When you have an idea, this is the problem when we live in the future, and we live in tomorrows and all these lazy lands. You dig? When I started the ability, because I've always been a hustler, I always knew how to draw a dollar out the universe and bring it into my pocket. You understand me? But what it came from, I remember seeing this man that was homeless on 24th Street in Oakland, California. I used to see him every day. He used to be collecting cans. And so I used to ask him, what you collecting all the cans for? What you doing? He said, oh, I'm saving up. I want to buy a car. You understand me? I used to see him every single day for months and months and months. Every single day. Same thing. Brother had the most positive spirit ever. You understand me? From day one, when he had the first thought, he said, I want a car. He had something he wanted to bring into reality. He had this car. It was a station wagon. It wasn't a crazy car, right? But he had this thought. Then what he did was he went to work. You did? He applied energy to the thought. Because let me tell you, let's say the car costs $1,000. Now, what do you have to do to get that $1,000? It's a simple arithmetic. If I make $1 per day, it's gonna take me 1,000 days to get that. That's simple. Now I want to cut that down. I don't want 1,000 days. That's 3 years before I get my damn car.
I don't know if you
So,
listening. I don't know if you've seen that little baby documentary. I didn't see it. But I watched it and he was like, well, why would I go into rapping if I'm in the streets and I'm getting 10 bands, 15 bands right now? Right. Why would I go to do a show 5 hours when I to go do that show and get paid 3 bands when I could be getting 15,000 on this?
yeah, because you're thinking limited and you're not a master of time. When you're a master of time and you're not worrying about hoarding things because you think I'm gonna die tomorrow, then that's different. See, a man doesn't build wealth with the idea that I'm gonna die tomorrow. He builds wealth with the idea that I'm gonna enjoy tomorrow. You understand me? It's different. See, we talking about surviving, they talking about thriving. That's why you got to get to a different culmination of thought. So he got this $1,000 you want to make. I look at the arithmetic of anything that I want to produce. So now, if you want to 10x something, you got to do 10 times more. It's really simple, right? So now he want to get there. He said, well, if I make $2 per day, I need to go get twice as many cans, and now I got to go turn them in. So now I got to increase my workload, right? So now I can get that in half the amount of time, right? Well, boom, it's still not going to be enough. Right. So what does he do? A man has his ability to increase labor, which is physical, right? Which means that he is limited by his physical labor that he can produce. So what man started to do, he got horses, now he got horsepower. Now I can go further, I'm more effective, because the horse is going to be more efficient than anything, right? Then, shit, We got the information age. We went from horsepower, we went from printing press, we went from the steam engine. Now we at the time of the internet.
You started thinking.
Yeah, but look though. So he want to get this $1,000. Now that bum that I seen, or the homeless man that I seen, every single day I seen him accumulate cans every single day to one day. I seen the brother, and he was outside the apartment building, and he had a station wagon. So I seen all of his work transform into his desires. You understand me? Because he had no other purpose for his movement, his thoughts, his ideas, other than putting energy to match the vibration of what he needed to do. So when you talk about matching the vibration, it's all about arithmetic. So that means that I look at it as that's 1,000 hertz that I need to reach. You understand me? I simplify it, right? 1,000 hertz. That's 1 hertz per day. So boom, in order to reach that 1,000 hertz, it's going to take me 1,000 days in order to get there. Now, if you want to be more effective, it's about the means in which you do things, right? So therefore, we now live in what? The internet age. You dig? The internet age allows you to be more effective than any other man at any other point in time in history, right? Because we got the horsepower, we got the steam press, we got every innovation that men ever came up with in one. Now, hold on, all you need is mind power.
What's a hertz?
Frequency. You're gonna leave that at frequency. That's it. They want to figure all that stuff out. They gonna have to deal with that. You did. But what all I'm saying is, if your teeth are yellow and you want to get them white, you understand me? And you brush them once per day, maybe you need to brush them 3 times per day. You will get there quicker. You understand me? I don't know what the frequency of your white teeth is, but it's gonna be based upon your consistency, because what you do frequently becomes your frequency. So if you got a habit of not making money and you keep doing the same things, then that frequency is going to continue to produce the same reality. So what you got to do, you did, what do? You have to increase means. How do you increase means? Through access. How do you do that? Through education. Boom. So now I use what I know to make money. You did? See, the homeless man that I seen, all he knew how to make money off of was by taking physical labor, taking the cans, going back up to the recycling center, getting him a check, holding on to it. You understand me? And then wait until he saved up enough. But if he have an education and then he have more means and access, now he has a phone. Now he can take that education and his knowledge, and now he can utilize that to do some affiliate marketing, to create some content, to sell an ebook. You understand me? To do all these sorts of matters and things, because the money be screaming. It's so much money screaming. You gotta not listen to the money to stay broke today. It is, you have to be a master of procrastination to stay broke today. Money be like, yo, it's crypto. Yo, it's Forex. Yo, it's algorithmic trading. Yo, they got blockchain. Yo, they got DeFi. Yo, they got trucks. Yo, they got books, physical, ebooks. Yo, you can make a course. Yo, you can sell art. Money be screaming. Money ain't screaming at people in this point in time in no way ever. It ain't about the ways to make money. It's about your mind power. Your ability to be able to choose and say, be and it is. If you have a strong mind, you can take the first, whatever you hear first, boom, I'm gonna take that and make some money. I like that one. You understand me? But what that does is not only increase your experience, right? So your education is what you put in your mind. You know what I'm saying? Your ability to learn. Your experience is how you use what you learn. But then you got to increase what? Your exposure. Your exposure increase the size of your mind. See, when you go around now, your dimension of thought of how you want to use things is different. I see one man use that information like this. I seen another man use it like this. So in China, they use it like this. Once it's the same thing as light that reaches in the universe. Once light reaches parts of the universe, it never contracts again. It just continues to expand and expand. So now you've been exposed. Now you have to fill in this mind. Now your mind is like, what's going to satisfy me? I need more things to do. So a man that wants to grow, he has to expose himself so that his mind stays hungry. You understand me? So you have education, experience, exposure, execution. Ooh, boy, this the part where people don't want to get to. Man, they get all of this education, exposure, they hear the knowledge, but the execution is terrible. Man, they got the greatest thoughts on the planet Earth, but they don't know how to synchronize and order these thoughts and to bring them into reality, right? So execution is giving birth to the idea. And the reason it is because you have not mastered your emotions. Oh, you all up in your feelings. Well, I don't feel like doing it. Now imagine if you as a sperm, I don't feel like going to the head. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about your feelings. As a man, it is not about what we feel. As Pop says, it's about what we think. We think, then do. That's the thinking man. You see that statue, the man standing like this? That's the thinking man. He thinks. As soon as he's done thinking, he gets up and he starts moving. So, your education, your experience, your exposure, your execution, and your mastery of your emotions will qualify you to produce things into reality. So that means that any information you get, any knowledge that you learn, now you have a way to use it. See, if I can get your mind right, it's 80, well, I say 80% mindset, it's really 81, and it's 19% skill set. You know what I'm talking about? It's 19% skill set. If you have the right mindset, you can master any skill set. The skills is what's gonna pay the bills. You dig? Every single man here can sit down, talk to a phone, all his ideas out, then he can get that transcripted, then he can get that same thing edited. He take that same edit, he run right over there to the publishing house. They can take that and they can get it put out within 3-4 days. He got a product. He's become what? He has a title. He's become an author. Now he has a way to make money. He can take that same thing and he can go create a podcast with it. Now he got content that's making money. Maybe it only makes $1 a day. Well, now he needs to go make 1,000 more pieces that's making 1,000 a day, and he's making $1,000 a day. We got all of these systems and machines on how man can utilize his mind and his creative substance. The problem is not the what, it's the why. Most men can't get to why. See, we get to the who, what, when, where, but we always missing out on the why. When you have a reason for everything that you do, then there is logic and purpose to everything that you do. So you will not make any moves that is not aligned with your logic and your reason and your purpose. So I won't even speak to somebody that ain't got shit to do with my vision. You understand me? Like I always say, don't even laugh out loud if you ain't laughing out loud. That's a lie to you. Everything you do should be truthful. So next time you speak, you bonded by your word. So if you say you're going to do something, it's be and it is. But we know how to lie so well to ourselves. We say be and it never comes. So we wait till tomorrow. Tomorrow never happens. It's an infinite amount of tomorrows until you're in the grave with no accomplishments. So it's not a problem with, this information not being valuable. It's you not having the type of mind that has a vision and a why. You sitting down here learning this information and how you're going to apply it and why you're going to apply it. So this has been a beautiful cipher. I want to thank my brother Steve. You understand me? Who I've been knowing since we was on the porch. You understand me? In St. Louis, hitting the streets. I want to thank my father, who I've been knowing since I was a little sperm going to my mother's egg. You understand me? Getting birth into reality. I want to thank Jack Heller Classic, who has given us the distinguished verbal, poetic waxing that he did when he was here in this cipher. I want to thank my brother Quay, 1/3 of the BWO, that's the Block World Order if you want to learn skills. And then I want to thank my musical, one half of my musical brother, because he's a musical brother too, Bashir Ampu, the one who is the creator of this rap tee. And this Black Guy Cypher has been sponsored by Hip Hop Tea Limeade. Make sure y'all tap in, man. I hope that y'all took something from this. I know that this one was different, but I want you to think about what would your life have been if you had these kind of ciphers in it. I'm gonna let my father end it.
I would just like to say what's so important for the Black nation today is to get back that desire to be on top. get back that desire to be where we were created to be, back in position to control our environment. Because if you take the E off of emotion, that means you in motion. Elijah Muhammad said, after me come what? All of those education, experience, and all of those things come to execute. See, the problem that we have is we need to separate. But once we separate, that develop a different desire within all of us, where we won't be so dependent for someone else provide everything for us that we should be providing for ourselves. Period. That's the problem. We too integrated into another man's house. So that took away a lot of desire for, we don't have to do nothing but go to the store. If you got a couple of dollars, get you a loaf of bread, or get you a chicken, or get you some vegetables. So we don't have to decide to be producers at all, just consumers. Even when we get money, what brothers gonna do? They go to Hollywood, buy $23 million mansions. You understand what I'm saying? They got 3 people in the family. What do I need all of that for? To have status in a dying world that don't mean no good to me or you or anybody else? With all this sport and play, brother got all this money. I'm talking to these brothers a little bit. Y'all got all this paper. But all I see you doing is sitting on a higher level in the white man's house. And you reach back every now and then because it looks good on TV or social media and lift someone up just a little bit instead of setting up a conglomerate and pulling out resources and say, this is my mission. My mission is not to be a star in Hollywood. It's just a means to accomplish my mission that was given to me by the Creator himself, from the bottom to the top. Take over time. That's our mission. Take over time. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad say, take back our planet. It's ours. Don't we have that desire to take back? Somebody take something belonging to you, you want to go get it back. You understand? By any means necessary. But the white man that took our planet and killed that desire in us. You understand? To take back what belonged to us. Why? Well, we got this fear of the devil. But we kill our brothers and our sisters openly. And I want to say this about man. See, man is whole and complete. We have everything in us. You understand? We talk about one side of the masculine element, but we got the X and Y chromosome in us. Loving, kind, tender. You understand what I'm saying? That's man as well. So we should be deciding to take our planet back. You know why? Because it's the will of Allah. It's the will of the Ba'ali. That's what he's here for. You understand what I'm saying? But alone we sitting in this white man's house. You understand? And lost all that desire to take back what's ours. Then what's the use of living? To be honest about it, because we ain't living. We are dying. We are a dying nation of people. Just go outside and take a look around. Our people are dying. I mean, our people are literally being destroyed in front of our eyes. Just go out and just take a look for a minute and look at our people condition. And we have the ability to change all of that. We got great young men growing up under the teaching of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I'm gonna say that, you know, I'm very grateful, very proud of all my family and all the young men the sisters that's affiliated with the family, because I done turned 7 years old, brothers. But I'm good. But now I see the world differently because I can see myself. I see myself. You understand? When I look at my grandbabies, I see myself. You understand what I'm saying? Just from those two beings, that one and that nine, as 19 Keys say, come together and produce all of this. You understand? All praise due to Allah. But we of this world, but we're really not a part of this at all. Because we want a complete change. And that's all I want to say. Separation is where we got to go now. And you see, once we get up out the white man house, you see all of that God-given ability come out. And we'll change the whole planet Earth. Because we can't see it because we stuck in the white man house. We look for all our talent. And we snatch it and take it to corporate America. Suppose we brought all that back home. We'd be on top overnight. Bring all of those atoms together, more powerful than an atomic bomb. We can move the whole damn planet without the damn sun. All praise due to Allah.
All praise due to Allah.
Peace. This has been a high-level cipher. Make sure y'all tap into the next high-level conversations. Peace.
People focus a lot